What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today is another installment of West Generic Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today comes from the Swiftwater Brewing Company, and they're out of Rochester, New York. And this is their Muncheez Truck. So they are calling this a chocolate, coconut, and peanut butter Imperial Milk Stout. Comes in at a disputed 8.7% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed at the time of review. This can is approximately 1 month old. So the reason I say disputed ABV is because there is no ABV on this can. I looked on their website, it says 8.7%. I looked on Untappd, it said 9.3%. Who to believe? I'm gonna believe the brewery. So I'm gonna say 8.7, but if it's 9.3, whatever. And this is a good time, I think, to plug a good friend of mine and fellow beer tubers show and his channel in general, Rod over at Rod J Beer Ventures. He does the Beer Flow show every Thursday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason I'm plugging is because recently we had a discussion about, how ABVs being on the label, it's not in general just like a law. It should be, right? They have the date of birth, as they call it, on the label, but they don't have an ABV. As far as I can see, there's no ABV on here. Like, just put the ABV so I have an idea. Anyway, not a big deal because, like I said, 0.6% difference, 8.7, 9.3, whatever. But yeah, so this is an Imperial Milk Stout, and they're brewing it with chocolate, coconut, and peanut butter. And yeah, that's all the adjuncts that maybe you ever wanted, maybe you never wanted. If you're Eric Gilbert, you don't want any adjuncts. Anyway, let's crack this open and give it a pour. I want to say this can was like $4, so pretty expensive. But anyway, let's get a pour on this. It seems pretty carbonated. Not the best pour here, but we'll see. So Swiftwater, I've been to the brewery and whatnot. I really like what they do, but I have not reviewed a beer on the channel from them solely. I did it was a collab they did with Community Beer Works called Combined Grind. It was a coffee IPA, and that was pretty good. But this is like the first standalone beer I'm reviewing from them. So, and it's proper glassware. I don't think I mentioned that. Swiftwater Brewing Company. Proper glassware. Yeah. Anyway, so this pours out this really dark. Now, I'm going to say this is black. There is some like dark brown, ruby red hints at the bottom, but this is pretty much black. Has about a 3-finger of a straight up brown colored head. Some tightly compact bubbles with bigger bubbles. Looks slightly creamy, but I want that to be a little bit more compact, I think. Anyway, let's get a nose on it. Now, this has been on my fridge for like 45 minutes, so we're probably like the 55 range. I would say that, honestly, I'm not getting a whole lot in the aroma. Okay, as it's starting to open up and that head's dying down. Yeah, definitely peanut butter now. Peanut butter is the prominent character in the nose here. Some darker chocolate. Not quite to like the Hershey Special Dark, as I always say. And the reason I always mention Hershey Special Dark is because I feel like a lot of you can, relate to that, having, Hershey's candy bars before. The Special Dark is a dark chocolate, but it's sweeter than your typical dark chocolate. So when I say that, I'm just thinking more of a sweeter dark chocolate. When I say dark chocolate in general, I'm usually thinking of like a 40-50% cacao bar. This is to the Hershey's Special Dark realm. Little bit of a metallic vibe that I get in a lot of milk stouts, although I did one recently, which was Rohrbacher's Cookies and Milk Stout. And that one didn't have a metallic nose, but it had a metallic taste, which is rare for me when it comes to milk stouts. But yeah, nice peanut butter character, more of like a roasted peanut, slight creaminess. As I'm letting this open up in the glass a little bit, more slight coconut, not really toasted, but slight like fresh coconut. Yeah, and I guess, because they say chocolate, they're probably using a bunch of cacao nibs or just straight on some kind of chocolate in here. It doesn't, listen, for something that says chocolate, coconut, peanut butter, Imperial Milk Stout, it doesn't smell as good as I was hoping, but maybe it tastes better. So anyway, cheers everybody. Let's see what it has to offer. Yeah, there's the coconut. Ooh, that's nice. So the predominant character in the taste is toasted coconut. Right up front, 8.7 or 9.3. It's definitely a bit thin, like medium to like higher side medium body. It's a bit thin, but whatever, I can live with that. The mouthfeel, slight softness, slight smoothness. It does have more carbonation than I would anticipate from something at this level and what they're going for, which is like a pastry stout. I really like that toasted coconut character. It's not like punching me in the face, but it's also not subdued. It just has a nice characteristic in the taste. It's there. It's very noticeable, but not overly so. Definitely a lot of darker chocolate. Now in the taste, it's not Hershey Special Dark. It's more of like a 40 or 50% cacao bar, or even like a baker's chocolate. It has bittersweet characters to it. So it passes through the palate. It definitely finishes sweeter, but it has a slight dry finish to it. I can't tell you this is 8.7% or 9.3%. Yeah, I'd guess this at definitely under 8%, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm really, as I keep on sipping on it, I'm really liking, I would say, I always cut myself off. I was really liking, and I'm like, it goes somewhere else, but I'm really liking the toasted coconut flavors, which are what I was going to say. But I was also going to say that this is coming off as more of just like an Imperial coconut stout, which is fine by me. People picking up this can, looking at it and saying chocolate, coconut, and peanut butter Imperial Milk Stout, you're probably going to be disappointed in some ways. Yeah, it's really good. It's easy to drink despite the ABV. I'm digging that toasted coconut flavor. Those are all the pros. The cons for me are not really getting the peanut butter in the taste. The chocolate's there, albeit more of like a baker's slash, bittersweet dark chocolate. It's also thin. In general, though, I do enjoy this one. I think it's good. I do want a little bit more from it. I was hoping this would be like a mind-blowing, just crazy experience as far as like all the adjuncts in here and whatnot. For me, though, it just ends up being a quite tasty, really solid, really well-made pastry stout to some extent. But at the end of the day, I want a little bit more from it. So rating-wise on the Muncheez Truck from Swiftwater, I'm going to give this a low 4 out of 5, like 3 point, let's say like 3.9, 3.95, but I'm going to round up to 4 because that's what I do, quarter point ratings. But 4 out of 5 I think is appropriate for this. I couldn't go much higher than this. I think if it had more peanut butter character or it was a bit thicker and viscous, I would bump it up to 4.25, maybe even a 4.5. But as is, this is a really well-made toasted coconut Imperial Stout. That's the way I look at it. I was hoping the lactose would maybe add to the creaminess and whatnot, but it didn't. Anyway, not really disappointed in this one. I was hoping for a little bit more. That's all. Anyway, Muncheez Truck from Swiftwater, 4 out of 5. If you've had this one, let me know what you think about it. If you're in the Western New York area, you should be able to pick this up, especially in Rochester, but I think this showed up in Buffalo as well and in the surrounding suburbs. So anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by for another beer review, and also appreciate you stopping by for another Western New York Wednesday, because that's what I like doing every Wednesday. We drink beers from the Western New York area, pumping out some good beers here in the area, and I try to focus on them at least once a week. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. Till the next one, cheers.